I'm here right now with Senator Bernie Sanders, here to ask a couple questions ahead of the rally here in Springfield. So first of all, tell me what you hope to get across to Springfield voters.
Well, I think a couple of things. Number one, it's imperative that we defeat Donald Trump, who in my view is the most dangerous and reckless president in the modern history of this country. But the second point is defeating Trump is not enough. We've got to transform our economy and our government so that finally it represents all of us and not just the 1%. What we're seeing in America today is a grotesque level of income and wealth inequality. And while the very, very wealthy are doing phenomenally well, so many of our middle class and working class families are struggling. So we need to change our priorities in America, change our policies to protect the interests of working families, not just billionaires.
And you mentioned represent all of us. So some people would say that you are too progressive, some people. And we are in the western part of Massachusetts, obviously a blue state, but out here, a lot of the liberals here tend to be a bit more moderate. How are you going to connect with those moderate liberals here and elsewhere?
Look, people have honest differences of opinion, but at the end of the day, I have absolute confidence that all Democrats are going to come together because the differences that we have are minimal compared to our differences with Trump. But in order to defeat Trump, we're going to need to bring about the largest voter turnout in the history of this country. That's what we have to do. And what our campaign is about is because we have a multiracial, multi-generational, grassroots movement, we're going to be reaching out to working people who may have become disillusioned with the political process and no longer vote. We're going to bring young people into the political process in a way that I think we've never seen before. And when you create the kind of energy, excitement, and voter turnout, that's how you beat Trump.
What about South Carolina? Because there's a large black population there, and you have struggled with the black population. So my question is, can you connect with those people, and can you beat Joe Biden?
Well, we'll find out soon enough. But I think if you look in some of the polls out there, we're actually running ahead of Biden with the African-American population. Certainly among younger African-Americans, we're beating them by a whole lot.
All right, something light. Is it Maine lobster or Cape Cod lobster?
You have that's a hard question. I don't eat that much lobster.
You're not going to answer that question?
I'm not going out on the limb. Hey, you're too controversial for me.
Is that how it works? Okay. So what is the what's the first thing you're going to say when you walk out on stage tonight?
Thank you for coming.
That's simple. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I think I still have some time, so I want to ask more questions.
The second thing I'll do is thank all the people who spoke before me and the musicians who performed.
You're here in Massachusetts. Why aren't you in South Carolina tonight?
Well, we just did 3 rallies in South Carolina. And, you know, we are worried not just about South Carolina. We are worried about Super Tuesday. And Super Tuesday is the most important day of the entire primary election. So we're going to be here. We're going to be in Boston tomorrow. We're going to be in Virginia later in the day. And then we're heading out to California, which is the largest state in the country.
And you mentioned Super Tuesday being so important. Does that mean that you don't see South Carolina as important? Do you need to win South Carolina?
Well, you need, I think every candidate will tell you, they need to win every state. And we're very proud that we've already won the first 3 states. And we're doing our best to win in South Carolina. But Super Tuesday, I think there are 14 states that are up. And that is an extremely important day for the primary process.
Here in Springfield, we have so many small business owners that are looking to you, and they want to know how you can help them. How can you help small business owners?
Well, I'll tell you, one way that we can help is through a Medicare for All single-payer system. I think if you talk to small business people, they will tell you that one of the great expenses and troubles that they have is providing health care for their workers. And frankly, they are in a disadvantage with small business people, if you like, all over the world, where in every other major country, there is guaranteed health care to all, not employer-based health care. So I think when we take that burden of having to provide health care off the backs of the employer, which is so very expensive, and make sure that every American has health care as a human right through a Medicare for All single-payer system, that will be a big help to small businesses.
Bernie Sanders, thank you. I really appreciate your time.